Hello, my music-loving friends. We're just going to be doing some labeling in your book today. So you only need writing utensils and your theory book. Inside your book, we added a miniature booklet for symbols previously, and we're going to add to that first. Now, some of the pieces that you're playing have a funny little symbol called a rest. And a rest means that you make no sound. It's totally silent. And the first kind of rest that you see is a little tricky to draw unless you know the secret. So let's think about how we're organized over here. Remember that we made a fold line, so whether or not you can see it in the video on your own, I'm sure you can still see there's a very faint line where you folded it before. And we want to put some things up here and some things down here. We're also going to need to have room to do 1, 2, 3 things across. So make sure you do your spacing just like mine. Here is the secret to drawing a beautiful rest. You're going to pretend like you're drawing a sideways Z and then a C. Watch me do it and then you try it. So a little crooked Z, I said sideways, but you see what I mean. It looks like a Z or like a lightning bolt. And then I'm going to put a little C attached to it. And now I have a pretty decent looking rest. Why don't you try it? Make a little sideways Z, and then a C. And as always, you can pause the video if you need more time for that. That is called a rest. So let's go ahead and label it. Rest is spelled R-E-S-T. Rest. And again, that means that you're totally silent. Now, there is still some space here, but we'll come back to that another time. Right now, we're going to put 1, 2, 3 things in this bottom section. Now, I'm going to be using some terms here that are probably a little bit big, and the ideas are something that you're going to be working on understanding for a long time. So right now, you're just going to draw and memorize these terms, okay? The first one that's going to go here looks like a hashtag or a tic-tac-toe board. So I'm in that bottom space. Here's my middle line right here, and I'm going to draw something right here that goes line, 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 line. Looks like this. Make yours look just like that. This is called a sharp, and we're going to label that. Sharp is spelled S-H-A-R-P, sharp. For those of you who are curious, that sign means that you play a higher sounding version of a note. But if that doesn't make sense to you yet, that's okay. We're going to get into that in your lessons, or your teacher will get into it, but you'll know what the word or what the symbol is when you get to it. Now we're going to add one in the middle. Now this one, to draw it very neatly, you're going to draw first an L and then a 7 that are stuck together. Watch how I do it before you copy. I draw my L, and then starting in the middle of my L here, I draw a 7. And look, just like this. Make yours look just like that. An L and a 7. This symbol means natural. Let's spell that. Natural is spelled N-A-T-U-R-A-L. Natural. And again, we're just memorizing what the symbol is and what it stands for, not getting deeply into how you apply it to playing your instrument just yet. There's one more symbol to add to this section. This is a symbol that stands for the word flat, and it looks like a lowercase b, but it's a little bit pointier. Watch how I do it. I start my B, but instead of making a really round B, I'm going to make it a little bit pointy up like that. Try it. Make your line and make a swoop up like this. And if it just looks like a lowercase b, that's still okay. That's fine. And again, that's called a flat, and we spell flat F-L-A-T. I should have used more color on that. Man, I hope you used colors on yours. So those are the symbols we need to know for today. And now we're going to go over to the other side of your booklet here, and you'll see why I wanted you to know that symbol for sharp. So if you have played some songs that use your first finger on the A string, you've been playing A's and B's. And I told you in the last video that every time you add a finger, you go up a letter in the alphabet. So we are going to be adding second and third finger to your diagram over here. Now, just like we skipped a square here, you have your first finger B in this square, and now we're going to skip a square and we're going to put the next one right here. All right, skip a square right in this next one. All right, so we are putting second finger in this little square, so put your 2. And if you know your alphabet, then I bet you can figure out what we're going to call this letter or this finger. If A is no fingers, then first finger is B and second finger is C. But wait, in this space, we're going to write C sharp. And I'm not going to get into why in this video, but I do get into that in your lessons, and I bet your teacher gets into that in your lessons if you study with somebody else. Okay, so we have A, empty space. First finger, B, empty space. Second finger, C sharp. Now we're going to add third finger, but we're not going to leave an empty space. We're going to use the square right next to this one. So let's put a 3. All right. And I wonder what it's called. Let's figure it out. A, B, C sharp. This one's going to be called D. No sharp, no flat, nothing fancy, just D. All right, so now you know what all of your fingers on the A string are called. We'll get to some other strings in a future video, but for now, you're done with your book, so you can fold it up. You can put it with your music binder and make sure that you have it in your violin lessons. See you next time.